Good evening, everyone. Happy Monday. It is so good to be here with you all. Thank you all for logging on. I wanted to make sure that we were live and in living color on YouTube. I pray that you had an amazing week as I did, and that you are ready now to go to another level. So I hope that for all of you that are always with us, let me go ahead and see you in the comments. Type a one in the comments. And if this is your first time, let me know by saying number two, right? That this is your first time being here. I am Nina Moore, and every single Monday, unless I'm traveling, I host this book club. Now, let me tell you why book club is so important and personal growth and development is so vitally important. It is important because number one, you cannot pour from an empty cup. And I want you to know that I'm not saying this in any order of importance. All right. Number two, you're never going to earn more than you learn. As we go up and our income goes up, our capacity has to go up. And so personal growth and development, reading is one of the most important factors of our life, especially when we want our money to level up, right? And number three, it's because leaders are actually readers. And if you desire to lead in any capacity of your life, you must read. Now, here's what I want to explain to you all. I want to explain this, that oftentimes we get stuck. If you're finding that your money is stuck, oftentimes it is because you have stopped growing. And we, a lot of times, stop growing because we believe that we know it all. I want to encourage you to really understand that what worked for us in last season won't work in this season. In order for us to have more than what we have right now, we've got to become another version, a different version of yourselves, of ourselves. And so I am excited that all of you have partnered with me on Mondays, right, to join this community of people who want to grow. And my only desire is for you to understand it's not about the amount of pages that you read in a book. Not about the amount of pages you read in a book. It's about the amount of pages you apply to your life. All right. So we are currently reading Born Rich by my uncle mentor, Bob Proctor, right? He's my uncle mentor in my head, Bob Proctor. And this book simply shows us that we were born rich, that everything we need is already inside of us. And this book is teaching us to rearrange. I want y'all to type into the comments, rearrange. This book is teaching us to rearrange what's been put inside of us. You're not looking for anything external. But if you are not at a place in your life where you have all that you want and you love your life exactly the way that it is, then in order for you to have something different, it is going to cause you to do something different. It's going to cause you to be something different. And so rearrange, type rearrange. Now we're on chapter 9, right? I don't know if y'all could see that. The light is super bright, right? It's super bright. We're on chapter 9. I got my screen to my left, so I'm able to see all of you. But we're on chapter 9, and chapter 9 is don't think in reverse. Uh-oh. Chapter 9, don't think in reverse. What this says is let us not look back in anger, nor forward in fear, but around us in awareness. Uh-oh. Don't look back in anger, nor forward in fear, but around us in awareness. Now, let me go ahead and tell y'all know what we do. We go ahead and we define the words. We define words because defining the words and understanding what we're reading is super important. All right, it's super important. So let's look. It says don't think in reverse. Well, what is the definition of reverse? And as you guys are logging on, let everybody know what city, what state, what country you are logging in from. All right. So reverse means to move backward. Don't think moving backward. Reverse is going in or turn toward the direction opposite to that previously stated. Ooh, reverse, a complete change of direction or action. So reverse could be, no, it's never positive. It's never, I was getting ready to say, wait a minute. No, reverse is the opposite or contrary to that previously stated. Reverse. Uh-oh. So let's say it says, do not think in reverse. Don't think backwards, moving backwards. Let us not look back in anger nor forward in fear, but around us in awareness. Well, what is the definition of awareness? What does that mean? What does it mean to look with awareness. What does that actually mean? How many of us would actually have taken the time to actually figure out, well, what does this actually mean? This says, let us not look back in anger. So forget it. Whatever happened in the past, we didn't like something somebody did or say it to us, forget about it. Everybody put forget about it. Forget about it. Forget about it in the comments. Forget about it. We can't move. We can't look back in anger. We can't look forward in fear. Let me tell you what one of my mentors said fear is. I wrote it down. I was on a Zoom the other day hosting, and he said, he was talking about faith without works. And he said, faith without works is dead. When you have fear, it's because you actually fear the work. Yikes. You're afraid that you're going to lie to yourself because you know that faith without works is dead. Everybody talk about having faith, but then we don't talk about the work that is the part of the action of faith. Faith is an action word. So the book says, do not move forward in fear. Fear is false evidence appearing real. Fear. Then it says, but around us in awareness. Well, what is awareness? The definition of awareness is knowledge or perception of a situation or a fact. Awareness. Awareness is, awareness is knowledge or perception of a situation or fact, concern about a well-informed interest in a particular situation or development. Awareness. Awareness is knowledge and understanding that something is happening or exists. There's a lot of people that's walking around in life like just moseying along in life without being intentional. They're kind of like just bumping into a wall, or because there's people that think that they could just oops their way into success. And a lot of times it is because someone has put you in position to win. And because someone has put you in position to win, you don't want to do the work that really is required to either maintain the status or go to the next level. So we can't think in reverse. We got to be aware, right? We cannot look back in anger. We can't look forward in fear. You will never obtain. Now I'm back. Now I'm in the book. Welcome to chapter 9 of Born Rich. You will never obtain any substantial measure of material wealth if you insist upon living your life as if you were looking back through the rearview mirror of your automobile. That is the first line of chapter 9. Thank you so much, Tara. Hold on. I'm going to make someone else a co-host as well so that we can let these people in so that it's not, because it is super distracting when it's on the screen. Let me see if I make another person a co-host as well. There you go. All right. So nevertheless, this seems to be a very common error, which many people have turned into a pernicious habit. Many of us spend most of our present moments floundering mentally in the time zone of the dead and should be forgotten past. You know, I was talking to somebody the other day about a situation that I went through in my current industry with network marketing. And I said, you know, had I allowed an individual's behavior to block me because I didn't like the way I was treated, I would never be living the kind of life I'm living right now. I would never have the level of success that I have right now if I had decided that I wasn't going to move forward because I didn't like the way somebody, and I mean, they publicly was trying to humiliate me, publicly attacking me, publicly coming at me. And had I not kept my eyes on the prize, I would not be the person that I am today. We would not be where we are. We would not have, I'm telling you, the past, that thing about the rear view mirror in the past is so vitally important that you know what? It's not about how many times we get knocked down. It's really more about how fast we get up. How long do you stay down when you get knocked down? We only have a 10-second count. We only have a 10-second count. But some people are laying there in it. And you know what I learned from I believe Les Brown said it, I believe Muhammad Ali said it first. Muhammad Ali said, even if you get knocked down, make sure you get knocked down on your back so you can see your way up. So you can see your way back up. It's not that life that we're not going to get knocked down or knocked out, but we get a 10-second count. 1, 2, 3, start getting up. Get up and let it go. Shake it off. 4, we got a 10-second count. So the book says, let the dead bury the dead. Remember the old adage that says, let the dead bury the dead? In other words, you want to stop looking back at your life, in your life, and worrying about things that have already occurred that you can no longer alter. It happened. Okay. Get over it. Move. And you stay stuck. This is the one. When you stay stuck and mad at people that don't even know you mad at them. You're in prison while the other person is just lolly, 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 law, and you're in prison. You want them to know you mad, but they don't even know you mad, and now you're in prison. They may not even know that they offended you or made you mad, and now you are sitting there in prison because somebody made you mad. Imagine you being behind bars. You're not behind bars, but you're behind bars. You're more in prison than the people that are behind bars. So in other words, you want to stop looking back at your life, worrying about the things that have already occurred that you cannot alter. You cannot alter what area you grew up in. You cannot alter that daddy wasn't there. You cannot alter that mama called you a bad name. You cannot alter that your ex-husband did X, Y, and Z, your ex-wife did. You cannot alter that. But what we can do is we can decide that, you know what? Although that is what I went through in life, I choose to be free. I choose to not be bound. I choose to live in abundance. I choose to write my story. I choose to. It's our choice. So pursuing that kind of mental activity, I need y'all to write that in the comments, mental activity, because this is what it's going to require from us. It's not about physical activity. It's about mental activity, pursuing. You know, y'all remember that movie, In the Pursuit of Happiness? The Pursuit of Happiness. Did you see that he was literally every day in pursuit of happiness? Well, the book says pursuing that kind of mental activity will never lead to any worthwhile accomplishments. But what should we be pursuing, right? So he's going to tell us, understanding that all of the great achievers of the past had been visionary figures, men and women who projected into the future and did not belabor things that had already passed. Too many people are spending too much time on what has or has not happened. Get over it. We got to get over it. Forgive. And you know what? Let me tell you how getting over it, when you get over it, that means that you've forgiven someone and you've let them go the same way that you want God to forgive you. How many times have you let people down? How many times have you not been all the way honest with people? How many times have you fallen short? How many times have you not shown up? How many times have you done it? And we do things, we do things, and then when it's done to us, we ready to fall apart. We ready to hate somebody for the rest of their lives. Mental activity. This is the mental work, right? Into the future and did not belabor things that have passed. They thought of what could be rather than what already was. So now we instead of processing or rehearsing it could have been this and it could have been that. We could have been. No, this is what could it be in the future. And they move themselves into action to bring these things into fruition. I want y'all to write in the comments, action. Lights, camera, action. 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 Thought thinkers take action. Thought thinkers move. Thought thinkers don't stay stuck. Thought thinkers don't lie to themselves or other people. Thought thinkers, they take action. It's like this: lights, camera, boom, action. Thought thinkers are like, I'm not going to end this week like I ended last week, this week like I ended last week, or this month like I ended last month. Thought thinkers are present. You know how many people are living and they're not even present? They're not present. It's like whatever happens every single day with no thought, with no plan, no presence, just here, not present. Thinking of this magnificent legacy that these forward thinking individuals, so what are we going to be? Are we going to be forward thinking? Are we going to think in reverse? Are we forward thinking? Are we thinking in reverse? These forward thinking individuals have left for us today. Thanks to their formidable efforts, we are now able to enjoy breakfast in Paris, lunch in New York, and dinner in Toronto. We are now able to live our lives in brightness and light 24 hours a day if we so desire. Imagine that there used to be a time when there were candles, and when that candle burned out, oh well. Imagine that someone was forward thinking enough that now we've got night lights and what do you call it? Lights out for outside, for what do you call those? Motion sensors. We've got ring lights. We've got all kind of lighting now, headlights, and all kinds of light all over the world because someone decided to be a forward thinker. Imagine we're able to live 24 hours. We can hear the voice of a loved one on the other side of the ocean merely by pressing some buttons on a telephone. All of these miraculous possibilities and much more. Imagine that someone, you know what? We take this for granted. Here's what we take for granted. That I can get on my cell phone, push a button, and have a conversation with someone in another country or another state and see their face. Am I by myself? You know, we just take that for granted. That I don't have to be where you are, but I can pick up my phone, dial your number, whether you got an iPhone or an Android, because I can FaceTime an Android too. And I can literally push a button and see you face to face in a moment. We take it for granted. That I can hear my loved one's voice. That I can go to a store, record my voice in a little heart-shaped little thing, put it in a teddy bear, send that teddy bear to my granddaughter, and she open it on her birthday, Tracy, and it sing happy birthday to her as if I was there. We're taking it for granted. We're taking for granted that we get to wake up in our own places, in our own beds, literally go outside, breathe the air like we're taking it for granted. And then on top of that, we allow ourselves to be caught in bondage by thinking in reverse or being stuck because somebody made us mad. I ain't like what they said. We so crazy. We think somebody posted about us. And guess what? If we think it's about us, it probably is. It probably is. Because why would we even be able to identify with it? It probably is. Maybe there's something in me, Nina, that I gotta check if I thought somebody posted something and it was about me. What is it in me that even identifies with that? What is it in me that can even, what is it in me? I always say, Lord, and let it begin in me. Let revival begin in me. Let repentance begin in me. Let humility begin in me. Let gratitude, let it begin in me. I don't even know why we're here, but this must be where the Holy Spirit wants us to be. All of these miraculous possibilities and more are available to us simply because ordinary human beings like you and me have built ordinary, extraordinary images on the screen of their minds of things which have never been before. If you can imagine it, it can happen. I want everyone to write imagine in the comments. If you can imagine it, it can happen. We got to go back to like childlike faith when children just believed that everything could happen. And that's why they keep asking and they pull on your shirts and mom, 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 dad, mom, mom, dad. They don't take no for an answer. How many times have you had to tell your children or your grandchildren, I said no. I said no. I said no. And they don't care, Tedra. They just keep coming back over and over and over again because they don't understand the concept. What do you mean no? What does that mean? What does Cardi B say? What is the reason? What is the reason? Right? They don't understand that, Tracy. They don't understand that, Pastor Sean. The pioneering spirit of men and women, all of all faiths, of all creeds and color, has been put to great use. They were able to look into the future and see what could be rather than what already was. I need everybody that can hear me to look into the future and see what could be, not what is, not what already was, but what could be. Could you be the next millionaire in your family, but not the last? Could you be the next chain breaker in your family? Could you be? And I want you to think now, what could I be? Not what was. What is it in me that literally, if I just imagine something different than the life I'm living right now? The problem is you're so focused on what it looks like right now that you can't even imagine, because it's not about what it looks like. It's not about where you live right now. It's not about what you're driving right now. We serve a God that owns all the houses, all the cattle, all the land, all the silver, all the gold. We serve this God, this big God. And we're thinking like peasants. We're not thinking like heirs of the kingdom. You're not broke. Stop saying it. You're just experiencing a temporary cash flow. And guess what? It is something you can do about it. You can change your life. You know, I'm looking at the fact that people don't even have to go to college anymore. Are we kidding ourselves right now? We got 9-year-olds and 14-year-olds millionaires off of AI. Millionaires off of YouTube videos. Millionaires. And you mean to tell me that you serve a God that's less than able to do the exceedingly and the abundantly above all that you could ever ask or think? How small is your God? So here's the thing. They were able to look into the future to see what could be rather than what already was. They ignored those who scoffed and said that it couldn't be done. So what? People think it can't be done. So what? So what? They think you look crazy. So what? I'm certain that Benjamin Franklin looked real radically crazy. I am certain that Thomas Edison looked real crazy. I am certain that Alexander Graham Bell looked real crazy. I am certain that the Wright brothers looked real crazy. I am certain that Henry Ford looked real crazy. Matter of fact, come here, Jesus. I'm certain that Jesus looked real crazy. I am certain that Noah looked real crazy. Real crazy. Come on. I'm certain that they all looked real crazy. But had they not looked real crazy, had they not dared to say, you know what, I don't care what nobody think. I'm leading a revolution right now. What if the Wright brothers hadn't failed as many times as they did? How crazy did Colonel Sanders look trying to go door to door to door to get someone to fund his vision at 66 years old? So age doesn't matter. Age doesn't matter. For those of you who think you missed the boat, age doesn't matter. Great achievers always expect to do great things. What is it? Great achievers, great achievers always expect to do great things. Not sometimes do great things. You know, great achievers, they just act like great achievers all the time. There isn't like a time when they're not acting like a great achiever. If you are a great achiever, guess what? You act like that all the time. Do you think that there was ever a time when Michael Jordan stepped onto the court and didn't act like Michael Jordan? I'm going to wait for the answer. I'm going to wait for the answer on that one. Do you think that there was ever a time that Kobe Bryant, while alive, do you think that there was ever a time that Kobe Bryant, while alive, didn't step onto the court acting like Kobe Bryant? Do you think that there was ever a time that Serena and Venus Williams walked onto that tennis court and didn't act like who they are? Do you think that there's ever a time that Muhammad Ali got into the ring, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee? He believed he was going to beat everybody. Do you think that there was ever a time when he didn't get into the ring acting like Muhammad Ali? I'm waiting for the answer. I got 4 people that believe absolutely not. So thank you to the 4 of you who believe absolutely not. To the 4 of you. Because winners win. So if you're walking around not acting like a winner, what's the problem? Because you choose when you going to act like a winner versus when you aren't? What's the problem? Because winners win. Winners have an attitude. Winners have a behavior. Achievers have a behavior. And achievers have a behavior that they win, not when it's convenient for them. Achievers have a behavior that they win and they don't wait till the end of the month. Achievers have a behavior and they win every day. Do you think that Michael Jordan waited until the championship to get to play championship basketball? I need y'all to answer that question for me. Because if he didn't play championship basketball every game, he would never have made it to the championship. So what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for crunch time for? What are you waiting for? What are you waiting to go all in for? What are you waiting to help somebody? What are you waiting to walk into your power? What are you waiting to step into your greatness? What are you waiting for? You waiting for a light switch to go off? You waiting for permission? What are you waiting for? I'm not fussing, y'all. I'm so passionate about this today. Why are we waiting? Why? The book says, do not be misled by your sensory factors. We are endowed with the same basic mental tools as the Wrights, the Edisons, and the Bells. Here's what's so crazy. I have not read this book yet. Tedra, I didn't read ahead of y'all. I am reading this live in living color with you all. I had no idea they were going to talk about the Wrights, the Edisons, and the Bells in the next sentence. No idea. This says, do not be misled by your sensory factors. We are endowed with the same basic mental tools as the Wrights, the Edisons, and the Bells, and we all have the God-given ability to employ those tools just as they did. The same way the Wrights, the Wright brothers, the same way the Edisons, the same way the Bells, the same way, same God, right? Mattia said that's confirmation. The same God. So if he did it for them, he could do it for me. God is not a respecter of persons. So the same God that did it for them, God, give me the same grace. God, give me the same favor. But here's the thing. You know why God ain't giving you a portion of the favor or the grace? Because he don't even know if he could trust you with it. Because you're winners because they act like winners all the time. See, he's waiting for you to act like a winner all the time. You like, yeah, God, give it to me. Give it to me. He can't trust you with it. He will give it to you. When you stay on, too many of y'all, God want to come by and bless you. You got the close sign. You got the close sign. God is like, oh, boo, let me go bless her. And he go to bless you and you got the close sign. You're closed for the day. You're closed for the week. You're closed for the month. And you think that you can wait till next month and then you decide you're going to open the doors. You're going to open the windows and then God going to come back and say, oh, let me catch up with you. Oh, no. Now you got to wait. Matter of fact, most times you got to go all the way back down to the bottom and start back over again. Momentum is the hardest thing to gain, but it is the easiest thing to lose. Momentum. And you know what my mentor said last week? I got some great notes because I'm a good student. I'm a real good student. He said, momentum is made in moments, not months. I'm not stuck. He said, momentum is made in moments, meaning the moment that you really decide, that you really decide that, you know what? I'm going to stop playing around. Oh, I don't know how I get it all done. You know why I get it all done as much as I do? Because I don't think. I just do. I don't think. And I don't allow my short term, you got to sacrifice short term pleasures for long term gain. So, no, I can't. I went to Mexico City. Y'all didn't see none of the city. It don't even look like I was in Mexico. Y'all, short-term pleasure for long-term gain. That is it. Short-term pleasure for long-term gain. I said, people keep saying, well, how was Mexico? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I went from the hotel to the conference, back to the hotel, and back home. Literally from the airport to the hotel, from the hotel back to the conference center, from the conference center back to the hotel, from the hotel to the airport. I don't know. They said, well, how was your flight? I said, they landed. That's all that mattered. Because I am extremely focused. I'm so dialed in. I'm so dialed in. And I'm doing multiple things. And I'm dialed in on the things I'm doing. Everything I do gets 100% of my attention. Now, I know that sounds crazy, right? But Grace is sitting in my office right now. She's like, it sure do. Everything I do gets 100% of me. Everything. I don't give 10% to that and 20% to this and 40% to that. No, everything I do, I treat everything in my life with the same level of excellence. If I cook, the food gonna be real good. If I sing, I pray that come out real good. Like I can only pray, right? The anointing gotta come. But y'all know what I'm saying. If I'm hosting an event, I'm gonna host it with my mic, like everything I do. If it's my network marketing business, it gets all of me. Everything I do gets all of me. So why? Because I realize what the book says, that the Wrights, the Edison, the Bells, and all of them have God-given abilities to employ those tools, and we got the same ability to employ them just as they do. Regardless of your present circumstances, understand that if you can build the image of something new in your mind. Let me say this again. Listen, I want everybody to hear what the book just said. Regardless of your present circumstances, understand that if you can build the image of something new in your mind, something that far surpasses anything that has occurred up until now, you have the ability to realize that that result in the physical world. If you can see it in your mind, why do you think I'm telling everybody all the time, well, have you written it down? Write the vision, make it plain, so that them that read it can run with it. Write the vision, make it plain, so that they that read it could run with it. You can't just write, I want to get off my job. Well, what does that mean? What's the number? And then you don't just write it and just sit back and put your feet up and grab a Coke and put the TV on and think that, okay, well, I just told the Lord. No, faith without works is dead. So I'll bring it to you in plain terms. Last month, our team closed at $505,000 in sales. The goal this month is to close at $800,000 in sales. That doesn't mean I celebrated for 2 seconds. Two. Next. For 2 seconds. But I see is a whole lot of other people that still celebrate. Because in order for us to get to 800,000, we got to do more than what we did last month. We don't ride on the celebration of what happened. It's already passed. But I wrote it out. And if you don't believe me, because I know that I be having to prove stuff to people. I wrote it out. There go my number right there. I wrote it out. I wrote it out and I'm going to keep writing it out. All the people that think they want something, really? Because I know the moment I write it out, the moment I'm rehearsing it every day, the moment I'm getting up every day, I'm so happy and grateful that our team has produced 800,000 in volume. I am so happy and grateful that I'm calling people from the Netherlands, that I'm calling people from London, that I'm calling people from Greece, that I'm calling people from Italy, because I know, Lord, that in order for us to have what we need to have, it has to come from every corner of the world. So God, from the north, the south, the east, and the west, I don't know how it's going to happen, God, but I believe in you, and I believe that it can happen, and I believe they can come from Austria and the Czech Republic and all the places that we're legal in. I believe that it can happen. And I am so happy and grateful, God, now. Whoa! I am so happy and grateful now. And I speak in the now. And not only do I speak in the now, do you think see, you know what? I'm going to just show y'all. See, because my mentor told me, see, it's in my notebook. Let me get it. Is it in I'm pulling it out my notebooks, right? Okay, I'm pulling out he told me that I had to manifest my month. My mentor told me, Nina, manifest your month. Write it as if it's already done. So, because he told me to manifest my month, y'all think I'm sick because I'm coachable. And so what I did was I came over here and I said I began to manifest my month, right? And I'm writing, okay. And as I'm writing, because I'm not done, but I'm manifesting my month, I helped 3 people go VP. I closed my husband's position at RVP with over 300,000 in volume. I helped 10 people go MD. I helped 25 people go director. I closed MVP. I closed with a D on the end, MVP at over 800,000 volume. I cleared up some revolving debt that I want to get cleared up. I enrolled 1,000 new customers. In November, I enrolled 15 people with a $12.99 pack. My videos are viral on Facebook and TikTok. Like, I know what I want. Because my mentor said, manifest your month, Nina. Write it as if it's already done. Then he told me to go look for a book that cost him about $1,000. He said, if you can find that book, you need to buy it. I ain't found it yet, but I will. He said, it's probably not in print anywhere, but you keep searching until you find it. He said, because the book says when you open the book, I'll tell you what the book is called. It's called The Millionaire Maker. It's called The Millionaire Maker. The author's name is Matthias. He said, because when you open up the book, and he showed me the book, his book was huge. It looked like an encyclopedia. It had gold trim all around the pages. And you open up the book, and the first page of the book says, if you do not become a millionaire reading this book, you get a full refund. Now, I don't believe that I need that book because I've already earned millions, but I've not become a millionaire. I don't believe that that is the reason why he told me to get the book, because he knows I know I'm a millionaire. He needed to see how coachable I was going to be. And the moment he said it, I went to go looking. It's not in print anywhere. You can go look. It's not in print. He bought it. He found it somewhere. It was $1,000 when he bought it or something like that. Some crazy number. It might have been higher than that. It's not available. You know why winners win? Would you like to know why winners win? Because they take action immediately. You know why people don't win? Because they sit to wait to think about it. Well, let me go ask such and such. Well, let me see what happens. Well, let me think. Let me go. You asking people that ain't even got vision. How are you asking someone to give you Help with a decision that is blind. That is like asking a blind man to give you directions. Yep. Let me just go back to the book. Y'all want me to just go back to the book? Let me see what they saying on YouTube. Are they saying anything on YouTube? Where are my YouTube people? Let me see if the YouTube people are they saying anything on YouTube? I don't know. I don't know. So this says, because if you can build the image of something new in your mind, something that far surpasses anything that has occurred up until now, you have the ability to realize that result in the physical world. It could not be more clear that all of us have been born rich in the sense of having a magnificent God-given potential, which we owe ourselves to nurture. So God gave us this potential that we have a responsibility to nurture. That's our responsibility. God gave it to us. How dare us sit around and act like we don't nurture it? So yeah, a lot of people think I'm not getting on book club. I'm too busy for that. Okay. So we don't want to nurture the gift that God has given us. Okay, no problem. Just how great is the human potential? Let's check with the experts. Dr. Alexander Rich, professor of biophysics at MIT, has estimated that our central nervous system contains from 10 million to 100 million cells, each one of which has a storage capacity equal to that of a large computer. Do y'all hear that? Each one of us. Imagine this. There's 53 people on Zoom, and I don't know how many people are on YouTube. If all of us have 100 million cells, just the people that are on the Zoom, how many of us have, how many cells is that? If 53 of us have 100 million cells, you can't even write the number. What is the number, y'all? What? Okay, so it says it would imply, if his estimates are even close to being correct, it would imply that the human mind has the capacity to store all of the known information in the world with room to spare. I don't even know what that number is. Is that trillion or above that? I don't even know. 53.5.3 E9, whatever that is, it's a big number. I think that's trillion. Is that billion? I think, anyway, it's that 50.5.3 billion. It's a big number. It's a big number. It's a big number. You know, I was sitting with our CEO the other day, y'all. And, oh, I was going to save this for later, but I'm going to say it now. I'm going to say it now. I'm going to say it again later. I got it in my notes to say it later because I'm prepared. He said, you know, Nina, I was sitting there with him and his wife having breakfast. And he said, you know, people keep offering me billions of dollars for my company, for the rights. Do y'all hear what I need y'all to hear what I just said. He said, people keep offering me billions of dollars for my company, for the rights to my company and to my products. Multiple billions of dollars. You know what, Chris, you know what he said to me? You know what he said to me? Let me tell you what he said to me. He said, it baffles me. They must know something that the reps don't. Because if the reps understood what these people that are offering me billions of dollars for the rights to my company and to my product, if the reps only understood what they understand, they wouldn't be acting like they're acting right now. Boom! It would imply that the human mind has the capacity to store all of the known information in the world with room to spare. So, you know, it kills me, Grace, when the people be like, I don't know how to do that. Oh, no, 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 no. It's not that you don't know how to do that. You don't want to learn how to do it. You don't want to activate the part of your brain that's not awake. Well, I'm just new. I'm not tech savvy because you don't want to be. You don't want to activate that part of your brain. Well, I don't know how to post. You don't want to know. You don't want to know. You don't want to activate that part of your brain. Well, I don't know what to say on a Facebook Live. I wouldn't know what to say. You don't even need to know what to say. Because now, let me tell y'all something. Let me tell you something. Grace, am I lying? I sat here today and I needed to know a trending audio for my reel that I was getting ready to post. And I went to Chat GPT, my cousin, and I asked my cousin Tedra, list me 20 trending audios for a reel. That is, Grace, what, one line, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I didn't even go, y'all, Tracy DeLoach, I didn't break it down. I didn't say what kind of reel it was. I didn't do any of those things, Tedra. I said, give me 20 trending audios for my reel. Now, mind you, I am talking to my cousin every day. I talk to cousin every day, okay? I do. But Tedra, let me tell you what he did. Let me tell you what cousin did for me. Not only did, ooh, there it is. Not only did it give me 20 trending audios, guess what else it did? It told me what kind of video I should put it with, at what kind of, from your event. Put this song with your event replays. Put this song with your this dot dot. Do this with that dot 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 dot. I looked up and me and Greg, because I got a big screen sitting, thanks to Paul, he getting me right. He's like, you doing these things, you gotta have, so I got a big screen sitting over here now. I can see y'all here, but I can see y'all here too, right? And we looked over at the big screen and me and Grace said, now wait a second, hold on. She said, what did you prompt it? I said, give me 20 trending audios to go with my reel. Y'all, I say all that to say, y'all are thinking way too hard. I have enough other things that I have to think hard on. Why would I think hard on that? And what did I do? I copied that thing so fast because I said, I don't ever want to lose this. But guess what? That's the trending for this week, right? Grace, I mean, maybe for this month. Maybe we might be able to rock out with that for the month. That ain't gonna be good enough for next month. Because, see, you know what? Let me help y'all. I promise, we about to be done because I can't even go no further, right? Let me help y'all. We used to say that everything was moving as fast as the speed of light. Not anymore. Now things are moving as fast as the speed of AI, which means that basically every moment there's something new transpiring in AI and with AI. Artificial intelligence. Yes, we still have to think basically in order to know how to prompt what we need. And the more you use it, the better the prompting will get, the easier the prompting will get, because it begins to know you and how you talk, how you function, what you need. Does this make sense? I am encouraging everyone, get a free, and I don't get paid for this, okay? Get a free Chat GPT account and allow that to make life easier for you. Because the world is now moving at the speed of AI. I am telling you what's happening. And if you want to continue to grow and evolve, you have to move with it. I want you to think about all the people who would not move when social media was moving fast, and now look at them. And now look at them. Y'all ask each other questions that you should be asking ChatGPT. And even with my business, any of my businesses, when I'm talking about hosting or emceeing or anything like that, when I'm talking about Super Pets, because I talk about it so much, I can ask ChatGPT questions that it will answer for me based on the information that I have uploaded into it. All right? So let's finish this right here. Other specialists in human creativity are similarly convinced that all people have uncharted reservoirs. Wait a minute. Let me make sure I read. If estimates including close to Yep, known information in the world with room to spare. Other specialists in human creativity are similarly convinced that all people have uncharted reservoirs of untapped potential locked up within the confines of their incredible minds. Dr. W. Ross Addy of the Space Biology Laboratory of the Brain Research Institute at UCLA, that's a lot, said the ultimate creative capacity of your brain may be, for all practical purposes, infinite. Oh my goodness. Infinite. He said, Tamara Bogan, literally, we think we got finite minds. We have infinite minds. Infinite. One must conclude that one must conclude that one must conclude that the more a person delves into the potential of the human being, the more that person will become aware of how great he or she truly is. And the more that person becomes aware of his or her own potential, the easier it will be to build images or of ideas or things that have never been contemplated up until the present time. Pause for a moment and reflect upon the degree to which you have been utilizing this incredible power to improve the quality of your own life and the lives of those people who surround you. If you know for a fact that you have not been tapping into these great reservoirs of talent and ability, you should candidly ask yourself, why not? Why do you keep allowing yourself not to do things the way that they're taught to you to do? Why do you keep falling short? Why do you keep quitting before you get to the finish line? Why? Why do you keep lying to yourself? Why do you keep lying to the people around you? Why do you keep comparing yourself to other people? Why? You got to ask yourself, why? If every single one of us have an infinite amount of potential, why? If you do, you might discover that you've been telling yourself for such a long period of time that you can't do certain things and that you've manufactured a mental block in your conscious mind. Remove these mental blocks by putting yourself into a very relaxed state. Everybody relax. Really relax. Take a deep breath like now. Relax. Take a deep breath. Everybody take a deep breath and let it out slow. And relax. Get into a relaxed state and become consciously aware that you can do the things that you want to do. You probably just don't know how to go about doing them. And if this is the position in which you currently find yourself, you can get excited. For the ideas in the pages of this book will show you exactly how to go about doing the things that you most wish to do. You need not feel regret because you have not fully utilized this great power in the past. There are few people anywhere who understand the real truth concerning their own hidden resources. That is why so few people live dynamic, exciting lives. And so many people live confused, unproductive lives. You ever see somebody just be busy all the time, but ain't nothing productive in there? Just they ain't doing nothing. They so busy, but they're never doing anything. It's like they're on a bike pedaling and they just they're on a stationary bike. But they so busy with no productivity. So that is why so few people live dynamic, exciting lives and so many people live confused, unproductive lives. Just on the basis of what you have read up to this point, you have already far surpassed most other people in your understanding of this important potential. It would appear to be the case that the masses of people have always lived their lives in the past tense by holding on to images that they have limited themselves to only half of their lives. We're going to stop right there. Oh my goodness. This was so good. Oh my goodness. This was so good. We're going to finish. Gonna start right here next week. We are reading chapter 9. We're almost done this book. I don't know if I'm excited or not. We're reading chapter 9 of Born Rich. And I believe we only have chapters 10 and is it 11 chapters in this book? Let me see. We're almost done. 10. We only have one more chapter left in this book. Let me know in the comments of this helped you or not. I know it helped me. Goodness gracious. I knew that the closer we got to the end of this book, it was going to be like bam, bam, uppercut, 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 uppercut. All right. So listen, y'all, we got to get off of here to get ready for our 8 o'clock call. 7:45. We'll be right back here with DJ Chris Courtenay, right? Starting the party with us, right? She says, sow your seed. We can take the offering now, right? Take a little election. So you see, and listen, my only prayer for you, my desires for every single one of you that are connected to me grow, and that you go beyond the pages of the book, and that you apply these pages to your of the book. Let me see. All right, I see y'all all. Thank you so much for joining us on YouTube as well. So listen, I want you to enjoy the rest of your evening and and the rest of your week. I want you to always look to pay it forward, right? Pay it forward to someone. Do a good deed and be kind to one another, and make sure that you stay connected. We'll be back here next Monday. Yes, I'll be back in time. We'll be back here next Monday. I'll be stable in time for book club. So we'll be back next Monday, same time. Make sure you invite someone else to partner with you on book club. And if you're interested in making some money, right, and really helping people and having a whole lot of fun, then what I want you to do is I want you to join me back here in 45 minutes. All right. Always remember that God loves you. I love you. And there's absolutely nothing